risk. Sign up today.
The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Trader's Edge with Steve Rhodes. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-873-7618. The Trader's Edge. Now, Steve Rhodes.
Good afternoon, folks. Welcome to the October 12th, the magical Monday edition of today's Trader's Edge Show. I'm your host, Stevie Perseverance Rhodes, who absolutely knows that each of us should always be pioneers of our future versus prisoners of our past. Hope everyone out there is having a great day. And let's make sure we have an extraordinary one. And the easiest way to do that is to always remember that life is happening for us, not to us. That's right. When you and I make that one little 2x4 shift, it means we can find the gift in every set of circumstance that life is going to toss at us. Now, today, you and I, we're going to go check on the circumstance of these markets. We're going to go figure out what those bulls and bears, what those buyers and sellers are communicating to you and I just past 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I want you to know that I'm absolutely grateful for your presence here. But much more important than that, during this next 60 minutes, I'm here to serve you. So feel free to pick up that phone. You can call on in 877-927-6648. If you can't call in, let those fingers do the walking. Go ahead, send me an email, steve@tfnn.com. Inside the subject heading, please put radio show question and, of course, in our Tiger's Den. Well, any ping will do. So let's go ahead and get to this show started out here. We've got, of course, this is the Magnificent Monday edition. I'm Steve Rhodes, and of course, this is Tiger Financial News Network. So let's go ahead and get going now. Right now, we got all the indices traded to the upside. The Dow's up 293. She's printing out at 28,880. Wants to move higher. All these markets want to continue to move higher. You've got the S&P up 58 points, trading out at 35.35. The Nasdaq up 368 points, a little over 3%. To the downside, the only thing on my screens out here, I've got light sweet crude is off $1.44. That's pulling the energy sector down, only 7 pennies, so not a big deal there. Lead the charge dollar-wise, the upside. Amazon confirmed A to B equals C to the upside. Google, A to B equals C to the upside. Volume-wise, not just there just yet. Apple's in a confirmed A to B equals CD pattern out here. Let's go back. Let's go begin by taking a look at some of those individual stocks out here. This will give you a gauge as to what's going on. Some chatter, discussion about volume inside the Tiger's Den out here. And so it's always good to understand the underlying instruments. So the top 9 instruments that make up more than 50% of the weighting inside of the NDX 100, always good to understand what those instruments are communicating to you and I. In fact, actually, just come back over here. This might be easier to see the volume makeup. Here is Apple. Let me just turn off the trend lines out here. Give me a moment to do that, just to unclutter the chart just a tad. So there we go. We got trend lines are off. Now, so if we pull Apple back here, what we're going to see is the B point of an A to B equals CD pattern to the upside took place on October the 1st. The volume there was 116 million shares. That's it, 116. Guess what the volume is right now? 126 million. Folks, there's still 3 hours left in the trading session out here. This is a gigantic confirmed A to B equals CD to the upside. Inside of Apple, prices above the top of its weekly, not anywhere near a monthly profile out here. Apple gunning for the 1-to-1 level, 126.84. Is that where it will stop? No. Remember, A to B equals CD patterns, folks. They only make the 1-to-1 about 60% of the time out there. It's almost like a coin flip. But there are tools, there are rules that we can observe that help us to understand when price is going to make more than a 1-to-1 A to B equals CD. And this is it right now. This is an explosive move past that B point. Wide-ranging bar, you got to include that gap to the upside. Volume in it as well. The retracement, that C point was a 37.382 retracement, basically. That is like take a rubber band. This is what I want you to do. I want you to take a rubber band, visually, at least in your mind. Take that rubber band and wrap it around that index finger as tight as you can so that it is just simply cutting off the blood flow. Now, only back it off 38% and let that rubber band go Now compare that energy to wrapping that finger just as hard but backing it off 61.8%. Which of those two has more energy? That's right, the one that only backs off 38.2%. So how do you apply that to technical analysis here? Well, the one that only backs off 38.2% has got a ton of energy stored to continue that little rocket ship to the upside. And that is the message inside of Apple. If we go take a look at Microsoft basically passing the B point on Friday with similar volume. So that qualifies. And now today's volume even higher out here. So its B point was the trading session out here of October the 1st. Volume there, 27 million. On Friday, that gets passed with 26.5 million. You know what, folks? That is close enough. You're already at 20 million shares today, so now you're getting double-gee confirmation. Does Microsoft have any resistance profile-wise, daily, weekly, or monthly? The answer there is no. You now have a confirmed A to B equals CD to the upside. That has not completed. It's gotten to the 1-to-1 level, sure, but we just went through this process of are we going to make only 40 or 60% of the time? Are you going to do the 1-to-1 out here? This is a wide-ranging bar coming into its D point. That is not how you want to see the sell the D point of an A to B equals CD pattern formed out here. So where's Microsoft headed to? Probably back to its highs, but its next price projection level would be 227.39. Let's go take a look at Amazon out here. AMZN is the ticker symbol. This too passed the B point on Friday. The volume was 4.9 million shares. That was October 1st. Friday was 4.9 million shares. That is a confirming A to B equals CD. Right now, you've got 4.4 million shares. So this, in the case of Amazon, headed back to that swing point from September the 2nd. Shoot, that only had volume of 3.9 million shares. You're moving, not you, but Microsoft is moving into that swing point with volume. Prices above the weekly top of its TAS market profile out there. You kind of get in the picture. The three heavily weighted instruments inside the NDX 100 has confirmed A to B equals CD patterns to the upside. Kind of getting the picture and the gist here of what the market is communicating to you and I as we speak right now at 1:13 in the afternoon. If we go take a look at Google. Now, Google didn't pass the B point with volume. It had 1.7 million shares on October 1st, and Friday it passed with 1.4. So a little bit light in the loafers, but it looks like it might make up for that today. However, in the case of Google, it hasn't confirmed the A to B equals CD volume-wise, and then when we take a look at its profiles, we can see that price has gotten up to the top of that daily box, 1575.20 out here. So what does that tell us? It just tells us that's where resistance. If price can clear that, well, then you're likely looking at a move to about the 1621 level. That is the top of its weekly profile out here. If we look at Facebook, let's go take a look at Facebook out here. This would be the number 5th or 6th in the weightings out here of the NDX 100 B point, October 1st, 20 million shares. You're at 16 million shares as we speak right now. So now you've got a confirmed A to B equals CD to the upside inside of Facebook out here. That is going to give you a price projection, the 1-to-1 level. We're drawing this in as we speak right now. That 1-to-1 price projection, you're almost there, 279.02. The retracement about 55%. Is this where price is going to stop? No. Facebook likely headed to 285, maybe 293 out here. So you've got all of these confirmed A to B equals CD. Tesla, another top holding inside the top 10 holding out here. It's got a different pattern. It's just sideways consolidation. There's no confirmed A to B equals CD or anything. Price is trading into resistance, the top of that weekly profile, 450.71. If you're going short, I just don't see the signals, not even in the short-term time frames. We'll take a look at those during the show today as well. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. Hope you're right.
If you're not currently using the TAS Profile Scanner when looking at setting up your trading opportunities, then your arsenal is short a mighty weapon. The TAS Profile Scanner is a standalone piece of software that instantly filters over 2,500 global financial markets such as stocks, ETFs, commodity futures, and Forex. Headed by Steve Dahl, TAS understands that in today's technological world, the use of top-flight software applications and technical analysis expertise is essential to successful trading in today's market. You also gain access to the webinar that Steve Dahl and Tom O'Brien just hosted, The Best Way to Use the TAS Profile Scanner to Profit. This webinar archive is available for all subscribers immediately upon signing up. All new subscriptions also come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. risk. Start your subscription by visiting the front page of TFNN.com today, and you'll find the TAS Profile Scanner under the Services tab. Sign up today. Are you in the market for buying or selling real estate in the Bay Area, including the surrounding St. Petersburg, Tampa, and Clearwater markets? Tiger Real Estate LLC is a firm that has extensive experience in the Tampa Bay area. Whether you're looking to sell your current property for maximum value, or you're in the market for a second home or investment property, Tiger Realty has the experience across all areas of real estate in the Tampa Bay area to help buyers and sellers make the most informed decisions across all price levels. From the price you should be paying per square foot in certain up-and-coming areas to the type of cash flow investment properties are capable of creating, Tiger Real Estate can help you make the best decision when it comes to all areas of the market. Before you make one of the biggest decisions of your financial future, call Tiger Real Estate LLC today at 727-329-8322 or email us at tiger@tfnn.com. That's 727-329-8322. Call us today.
Many of our new listeners have heard about The Tiger's Den. The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of the TFNN shows, plus see all of the charts as they happen live and have access to archives of all of those charts. You can test drive The Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days and greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets and how to make your money work for you. Details on The Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com.
TFNN has launched our brand new website. You can still visit us at the same TFNN.com URL, but when you do, you'll see a new and improved homepage with a much simpler navigation, whether you're watching Tiger TV live in high definition or just accessing your newsletter subscriptions. We even have new pricing in 6 months and yearly options. Check out the new TFNN.com now and experience all the upgrades. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
NASDAQ up about 400 points. Let's go out to Ormond Beach and speak with Mike. Mike, thanks for calling. Thanks for holding. How are you today?
Hey, Steve, I'm doing good. Steve, I'm in the DDM, which is the 2 times long the diamond.
Okay.
And I had the target that I was going to look at, before I make a decision, at the high that we had back around the beginning of September, which is 51.88. I was, going to look in that area. But another question I have, too, being that this is based off the Dow, do you still think that the Dow can get down to the March lows with the bullish action that we're having now?
So it's a great question. I've been asking myself that question all morning long, and I've been working on a couple of different scenarios, and I don't have them completed just yet. So I'm going to answer your question this way right now as we speak. And as we speak, what we still know, and we're just simply taking a look at this chart here, Mike, which is understanding that the Dow still has not taken out its February high from 2020. And until that happens, and right now that is basically your target for your trade, for your long trade inside of the Dow, is that February 12th high inside of the Dow. If price takes that out, then the signal there, then it starts to, then the signal of heading back to the March lows starts to wane a bit. Doesn't completely wane, but it wanes a bit out here. So until that takes place, Mike, it would be a guess. And I'm not interested in giving you a guess. I'm interested in maybe taking a look at a couple different scenarios and what needs. And if this happens, then that means X. And if this doesn't happen, this means Y. So that's something that we're going to have to take a look at. Now, to come back and answer your question, should the Dow be able to get up to at least the September highs out here? The answer is yes. Now, why would I say that? Well, I'm going to answer that question. And I apologize for asking a question that you were going to ask me. I know we're having a conversation here, but I was just kind of going with that thought process out here. But why is it that I would suggest you to stay inside that Dow position? Why today when we've gotten on the air, have I been so vocal, person that believes that the market still will go back to March until it proves otherwise out here, saying to people listening, look, these markets are bullish. Do not bite on this. Do not get in front of this freight train. I'm just giving you a probability out here. Why is that probability higher for the Dow? Well, the reason is, as you know, Mike, is that Friday, well, really, Thursday was the completion of a TD9 count.
Okay.
Friday was the day following that bar number 9. And what that tells us, what that told us, is that if we see a close today above Friday's high, obviously something could happen in the next minute, and we could see the Dow close underneath that. If that does, that's a different meaning. But if price closes above Friday's high, this is telling about a extreme, substantial, significant momentum move to the upside out there. That's the way the 9s work. It is a beautiful pattern. Ruby was asking me the question about the markets moving higher on lighter volume, just as it did in September. And Ruby, I'm going to point you, this is also for you as well, Mike, but I'm going to point you to the TD9 count that identified that top then, the pattern. Volume is only a small piece of the puzzle out here. You've got to take a look at other things, other patterns. And whereas back in the Dow, back on September 2nd out here, September 1st and 2nd, we had the TD9 count. We get the nice bear sash candle. Nothing got violated there. But boy, in this case here, we have a totally different scenario out here when I take a look at that daily time frame. Does that kind of make so? That's the reason. That's a reason why I would suggest that you stay with that position. But we won't, now what's going to happen when price gets up to those highs? I don't know. We'll just simply have to take a look. We'll have to see what patterns are ongoing. If I take a look at just a short-term time frame chart for you right now, this is suggesting that today we see continued higher price inside of the Dow. We're in bar number 5. So that says we've got about 2 hours, 3:30 to 4 before we'd see any kind of a little profit taking or something along those lines. But that would just be natural from a TD9 count out here. Now, in the 30-minute time frame chart, it did the same thing. It reached bar number 9 out here. I'll get to the exact time. This is a 30-minute time frame. So this does this at 11 o'clock, 11:30. We get the bar following bar number 9, and we have a little bit of a hiccup for a half hour. And then we get a close above it at 12:30. Again, the short-term time frame chart is signaling to you and I strong momentum move to the upside. Is that short covering? Is it international capital flows? Is it new buyers in the U.S.? I don't have the answer to that question. I just know that when that pattern is out there, it provides us with a ton of information. So what would be the next question? What question didn't I ask myself that you would have asked?
No, Steve, you pretty much answered, what I was wondering. And, basically we'll see what happens when it gets up to the early September highs, see if it generates a bearish candle or if we, just continue higher. And,
yeah.
Like you said. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Well, for the longer term view, it depends on what happens if we, get up to the February highs, and then at that point make our decision based upon what happens there.
Yeah. By the time I usually do a segment with Tom on Mondays around 3:15 or so, and I'm trying to prepare those thoughts in anticipation, really, of your question, Mike. But that's the same question I'm asking myself too. So I've been trying to prepare something. I'll try to have it complete by that segment. If I don't, I'll have it complete by tomorrow's show, I would think. Although I don't want to commit to it because you just never know. But I am trying to answer that question. But here's what I really focused on right now, and being present here. Is these markets we've got confirmed A to B equals CD patterns in the issues that are most important to carrying the NDX 100 higher. So the NDX 100 is back. And if it's back and it's going to continue to move higher, these markets have got very little shot at moving lower. So we'll have to keep an eye on that too. Now, the NDX 100 through the NQ does have a resistance spot that it's going to trade up to or into. It's a 12,452. And that is the top of a new bear structured monthly profile. So 12,452 is going to be its number. That's about 300 points, 350 points away from where we're trading right now. If price closes over that generates a very strong signal to us as well. But right now is not the time, in my opinion, from the charts, and there are patterns out here, to try to take a short position in these markets. And I would stay long like you are.
Yeah, and Steve, I just want to thank you again. One of the most valuable tools that I have is the education you gave us years ago with your your candlestick webinar, and
Cool.
that has helped me so much. I don't buy until I see a bullish candlestick signal, and I usually don't sell until I see a bearish one. So
that's great.
Yeah.
I am so happy to hear that. Because that's a beautiful thing. Look, I'm providing you with the tools, but you're the one that still has to make that decision out there. So
Right.
you get really all the credit. I just shared with you some things to help you and improve your trading out there. So thank you for the compliment, but really the compliment is all for you.
yeah, and it makes so much sense because like in the past I'd use the fibs and everything, and I'd put my buy order at a Fibonacci projection, and as you said, a lot of times it would overshoot that.
Yes.
And when we use the candlestick signals, the market is actually telling you whether the buyers are coming in or the sellers. So it
does.
it's
It
a
does.
greater
Hey, Mike, we're
confirmation.
about to go to a hard break out there. Thanks for the call, and congrats to you, and we'll look forward to speaking to you soon. Steve Rhodes with TFNN and Mike in Ormond Beach. We'll be right back, folks. Back in the day, I joined Hotel California in 2006, and like many of you, was drawn in by, as well as,
Whatever you think about, you bring about. Whatever you focus on grows.
you see, I believe that everything in life happens for us, not to us. And Tom ignited the fire within me to want to learn how to master the markets. So how did I go from knowing nothing about technical analysis to becoming the #1 market timer for the S&P 500 in 2018 and the #2 market timer in 2019? Simply put, I hired coaches with a proven track record, which led me to a whole new set of tools that I created to interpret the message of buyers and sellers. I would love the opportunity to teach you this award-winning set of tools and help you improve your market timing. You can test drive my newsletter service, Mastering Probabilities, for the next 30 days with no risk to you. Plus, you'll gain access to archived workshops that'll take you step by step through my system. Sign up today by going to the homepage of TFNN.com and selecting Mastering Probability in the newsletter tab.
If you're a trader in the market looking to find the path that leads to maximizing profits while decreasing risk, then now is a great time to try out Dave White's daily trading service, The Path of Least Resistance. Through the use of options and equity trades, Dave advises his subscribers on a daily basis of the current market conditions and what possible trade setups are on the horizon. The Path of Least Resistance is published every trading morning, often with updates intraday when initiating trades or closing out positions. Dave White has advised his clients of some outstanding winning options and equity trades in recent months, and now is a great time to try it out for yourself. New subscribers to the Path of Least Resistance receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. See for yourself the types of options and equity trades that are available by signing up for the Path of Least Resistance today by visiting the front page of TFNN.com and selecting the newsletter tab. Sign up today. TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. Dow's up 360, S&P 68. We've got 4 questions in the queue. Let's go to those. First one coming in from Dwayne. Dwayne writes in, he says, I have miscellaneous stocks with TD9 tops. What's the best way to manage them if you're up on percentage. For example, I have BRP on day 9 with a positive 14% position. Sell, hold, put in a stop percentage. So let's go. Let me get over to my other charts out here. Since you've already got this labeled, let me get BRP going. Okay, so we'll pull this over. And so just simply to try to match, let's just see what I've got out here first on my system, Dwayne. So I've got the TD9 count, bar number 9 that formed on Friday. And today's going to be the bar following 9. Now, Friday's TD9 count did not confirm the pattern. The reason is it wasn't the high. Bars 8 or 9 were not the high of the session. But today's confirming that. So now what you've got out here, Dwayne, is you've got a confirmed TD9 count. Your question is, how do you handle it? Currently, you've got a shooting star candle, much like Mike was just talking about. Now, it's going to be dependent upon the end of the day, but we'll just simply flow this into Mike and Ormond Beach. Because Mike and Ormond Beach said, hey, the one thing that he learned a lot was I'm going to let price continue to run higher, at least until there's some type of bearish reversal candle. At least that way, you know that sellers are at least trying to take the position of moving markets lower out there. Well, so if it's a shooting star, so here's one other thing we know. There was a TD9 bottom that formed out here, and that generated a resistance level. The breakdown resistance at 28.56 or 28.44. So prices tested and rejected that. So if price stays below 28.56, then the message would be, okay, might be a top, we don't know, but price is still above the top of its profile in Stevie's green line, that being 26.85 and 27.76. So, you've got to make a determination there as to how much are you willing to take on a retracement. Was this just a trade? If this was just a trade and you had shared this with me a few days ago, I would have shared with you that the target exit price is 28.56. So, and you're back to a prior swing point area. Let's just go take a look at the volume there. So here's where volume could be helping us out from the standpoint of telling us whether or not it's going to be able to bust through that area. So again, the ticker symbol is BRP. Is that it? BRP out here, which is BRP group. Okay, so the swing point had volume of about 600,000 shares. You're at 480, 500 right now. So it's possibly pushing into that swing point with volume that would make me want to say, hey, I'll stay and continue to play the game. The average true range on this is $1.50. So with regard to putting a trailing stop, it would need to be $1.50, or it should be $1.50 times 1.272 or 1.618, and that would be your stop below today's close. So do that calculation, make a determination whether that's too much heat. If it's too much heat, then mathematics will have given you the answer out there. So in each case, to answer your question, what do you do when you get those TD9s? Well, the other thing that you do, and I apologize, I didn't even go to that portion of the question, but I will tell you what I always do is I look at that chart to see if there's patterns with regard to the TD9s. Have they been identifying tops and bottoms? And if so, what have they been communicating to us? So now let's go back and take a look at this. Here's the chart. Let me get my crosshair. So here's the first TD9 count back on May 28th. And what we have here is we just simply have a couple of day pullback, but price is still above Stevie's green line, still above even the bottom of the profiles out here. So there was no reason there to have exited the position. Makes another TD9 count that identifies a short-term top on June 10th. You just get that little sideways movement, never breaks through any key levels of support. With regard to that pattern out here. The next TD9, this was not a valid one. When I say this is not a valid one, the one in August 12th or so, you do get another TD9 count out here on August 25th, and you get a few-day pullback. So you now got a TD9 invalid. So odds favor you're going to get that same kind of pattern out here. But does it justify exiting? You've got to do the math on that one. Ultimate support on this, where price could pull back to, would be 24.62 out there. So I hope that helps you out, Dwayne. Thanks so much for writing in, and I'm glad that we went ahead and took a look at that chart and took a look at its TD9 patterns that were out there. Hector and the fuel injectors, that would be Patty, write in, and Hector says, is this dog, Citigroup, ready to get off of the porch? You gotta love Hector. And so let's go take a look at it. Well, it did get off the porch out here. Hector, what are you talking about? It got off the porch on October the 5th. Price closed above the top of its daily profile, back below it on the next day, so it wasn't a confirmation. But then those next two sessions out here, the 7th and the 8th, above the top of that daily profile, telling us that it wants to move higher. But higher to where? Look, it's still the dog. Yeah, we can't change that. You're exactly right about that. And this dog wants to go hunting for the price point of 47.47. A new weekly profile that just formed today. It's equally weighted, meaning the center is pretty much in the center out here. So no benefit to the bulls or the bears out here. But knowing that the daily's above the top of that profile, odds favor a move to that 47.47 level. Where do we patiently wait for a long-term buy? I don't know. I mean, all you have to do is look at this monthly chart out here, right? So you're looking at this. I think unless you are a grouper fisherman, why are you even playing in this pond? No, grouper fishermen, you've got to go deep to get those, folks. And it looks pretty much like this. In fact, you'll typically find them as the shelf drops off. And here we can see the shelf, and I'm referring to the ocean shelf. But in this case here, we're looking at the stock market shelf. And this is a monthly chart. You can see the drop off from 2007. It's never recovered. It's never recovered. Why play in this game? Because somehow it's going to recover and get all the way back up to that level. Not a good. I apologize, but you're waiting to buy this, and I'm saying don't. Right? I mean, if you want to watch paint dry, then this is probably a good buy. But I know you don't want to do that, Hector, and I just don't see it when we take a look at the charts and the chart pattern out here. But is it off the porch? The answer is yes, and price likely headed to 47.47. I hope that helps you out. We've got a question here from Zephin. Zephin writes in, he says, long trade question about Peloton. Ticker symbol there is PTON. So let's get that up on our screen, see where it's trading in relationship to profiles and so forth. PTON. Get that on my other system. Oh, this is a nice move out here. Up at its basically everybody that's inside Peloton. Not only are they losing weight and sweating a lot, they're having a good sweat. Because everybody is in this party having a good time. The question is this going to form some kind of top? Let's read Zephin's question. That would be helpful. Just had a daily and weekly TD9 count last week and is trading above both. It's above Stevie's green line and has passed 1.68 Fibonacci from the swing point. The question is, what are the next resistance levels? I don't have any besides the expansion points. Well, Zephin, in this case here, we're not really going to be able to find any resistance to speak of. There's just here I'm looking at the long-term chart, the monthly chart out here. It's just been a rocket ship. It's just been and you don't need me to tell you that. But how do you come up with, so I'd have to try to put this on horizontal trading range boundary lines. I'm not going to do that because we haven't any sideways movement in the stock to generate any kind of horizontal trading range boundary. So what we've got to do is go back and pull apart my other charts out here and just simply take a look at topping patterns. Well, you already did that. You identified that this had formed. So this is the daily time frame. The daily time frame formed the TD9 count on October 7th. On Thursday of last week, that would have been Wednesday. On Thursday was the bar following bar number 9. And then on Friday, price closed above that. We just covered that earlier in the show. Not even a hiccup. This is the sign of another strong momentum move to the upside. Yes, price moving higher, doing less relative strength. Be careful of bearish reversal candle. But otherwise, as far as price projections, we'll answer that when we come back from this break. Steve Rhodes.
Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den. The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of the TFNN shows, plus see all of the charts as they happen live and have access to archives of all of those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days and greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets and how to make your money work for you. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com.
TFNN has launched our brand new website. You can still visit us at the same TFNN.com URL, but when you do, you'll see a new and improved homepage with a much simpler navigation, whether you're watching Tiger TV live in high definition or just accessing your newsletter subscriptions. We even have new pricing in 6 months and yearly options. Check out the new TFNN.com now and experience all the upgrades. TFNN.com, educating investors.
If you haven't checked out the newsletters page of TFNN.com, what are you waiting for? All of the TFNN newsletters are informative, up-to-date, affordable, and a must-have for every trader looking to gain a competitive informational edge in today's markets. TFNN newsletters cover every aspect of the markets to offer you the very latest in market news. Plus, new subscribers get to test drive our newsletters risk-free for 30 days. From all aspects of the markets, including stocks, bonds, metals, commodities, and tech, there's a newsletter to fit your needs exclusively from TFNN. Stay informed each day you trade and get that competitive edge that will help you stay ahead of the game. Visit our newsletters page by going to TFNN.com and click the newsletters button near the top of the page. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Biotech is booming, but for how long? Whether you think the biotech bull has room to run or has run its course, trade LABU or LABD. Direction's daily S&P Biotech 3 times bull and bear ETFs. Visit directioninvestments.com/biotech today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV for the latest market information.
Welcome back, folks. So we're taking a look at Peloton for Zephin out here, who's asking if we can come up with some kind of price projection. And at this stage here, I can't. In fact, we're going to look at more like time than we are price out here. So what we covered here so far in the daily time frame, Peloton on a daily basis has generated a strong momentum move. It did that Friday when it negated the TD9 count in basically one bar out there. The weekly time frame shows, as Zephin had pointed out, that the 9 count formed last week. We have a higher high this week. So Zephin, here's what you're going to do. Whatever the high is this week, if Peloton begins trading above it next week, closes above it next week, tells you about the strong momentum move to the upside. And then I come over to the monthly, and the monthly says we're in bar number 6 or 7, bar number 7 this month. This is the month of October. So we know that if a TD9 count is going to form a top, it's going to be with highs on bars 8 or 9. So this says the earliest time you would be taking a look at a top would be sometime in November. Likely December, could be January. So it's going to be more of a time thing unless we see some kind of a pattern out here. And we just don't have a pattern right now. So I wish I could give you a price projection. I just can't come up with one or any set of tools that I have. Mr. Bill in the Den suggested I give you the A to B equals CD, so I will in honor of that. And he pointed out that the A point could be the lows back here in March of 2020. The B point out here that I would be using would be August 3rd. It really just has a 1 bar retracement, which ends up being about 19%, which is the reason that I don't use an A to B equals CD price projection. But that next target is 133.11. So best of luck to you, and thanks for writing in. Let's go to our caller, John in Philly. John, thanks for calling. Thanks for holding. How are you today?
Steve, I'm very good. Thanks for taking the call, sir.
My pleasure. You would like to take a look at wheat, I believe.
Peloton is just amazing.
Oh, absolutely.
And
yeah.
I just scribbled into the den that a family member of mine bought that stock like a year ago, just after it had come public, and I can't believe it's a 6-bagger from there.
Well, good. Well, she must have good training to have picked up on that.
Anyway, Steve, I'm calling to ask you, please, sir, about December Kansas City wheat futures.
Yeah.
The ticker symbol I've got for that is KEZ0.
Yeah.
And, Steve, the wheat price on that contract rallied up into a double high last Wednesday and Thursday at 553, which was both a weekly chart, AB equals CD target, and a Fib 618 versus a preceding high, I think, back in 2018 or so. And it's backed off now. And I'm wondering if your chart work and your tools show any strong and obvious support near these levels here. I'm trying to answer the question for myself. Is it a rebuy down here at this 530 level? Of course, the possibilities are that this pullback bottoms and we run and make higher highs, but it's also possible we've got a major top in place. Hence, I'm asking you these questions, please.
Absolutely. So if we take a look at it from a couple of different perspectives out here, first I'm going to draw in an A to B equals CD pattern out here. And what we're going to see is that about 4 days ago, this confirmed to sell the D point with the bearish engulfing candle that formed out there. So now that's a topping pattern. Whenever it tops, so it's a confirmed topping pattern. But what a confirmed topping pattern means, what it means to me is that then sellers have the right to see what they're going to do and try to push price down to support. And you're asking me the question about support. The first level of support was hit on Friday and again this morning. And that level is Stevie's green line. So you're asking a specific question, is this an area that could be a buy? And the answer to that question is yes. You and I would prefer to not necessarily have seen that topping signal out there, but it's there. It doesn't matter. Price pushes way back to support. The question is, does support hold? So this is an area where you could justify entering or re-entering a long position. If price closes below this area where we're at, then there's also a new profile that formed, and it formed on Friday. And this profile is below price. Typically, John, when a profile forms below price, what we have is a bullish meaning because the supply is below price out there. And there's a larger A to B equals CD. So there were two different A to B equals CD patterns that I could have drawn. So on the white chart, we took a look at one. Here's another one that's got an A to B equals CD up to the 557 level. If we were to go take a look at some of the other futures contracts, so for example, we take a look at March. March has a new profile that formed. It is bearish in structure. Maybe March will help aid you. Do you ever look at when you're trading December, do you look at what's going on in the other forward contracts?
I do, but I'll share this with you.
Yeah.
Your procedure of doing all the numbers on these calendar, the calendar curve, if you will.
Yeah.
I find gives essentially confusion based upon too much info, because what's going on with the ag commodities is inferred cost of storage,
sure,
or pinched supplies in the near term versus the long term. And so I don't even bother looking at that 4 contract panel that you're assessing when it comes to the ag commodities.
So perfect. So then for your question, there are really 2 levels of support to be watching: where price is trading right now, and then 521.40. And if price gets below 521.40, you're looking at 513.60. And below that, you're looking at support at 498. So those would be
perfect.
your
That's very helpful information. I appreciate that. Yeah.
Okay. Well, always good to speak to you, and tell your daughter, nice job.
Yeah, I will. In fact, I already have. Yeah. Thanks so much, Steve. I appreciate it.
Hey, you bet. That was John in Philly. Let me take a quick peek here while I've got a minute to see if there were any other questions that have come in by email. I'd like to get to those if there are. And so, no, I don't see anything else. Okay, so what else should we be taking a look at? Let's go take a look at spot volatility, which is trading up slightly. It's up 42 pennies right now, but it is still below its 50-day exponential moving average. So I'll just expand this chart out here. 50-day exponential moving average at 26.76. More likely than not, the signal to you and I is that the spot volatility will head down to the lower Bollinger Band. That's at 22.74. So there's nothing here that looks negative, nothing at all that looks negative as we take a look at it. If I go look at the New York Stock Exchange, the advanced decline oscillator reading, go see where we're at here, well above zero. You're at plus 151.28. It's been above 150 here for a couple of days. That is a very bullish signal out here. The advanced decline line looks like that's at another new all-time high as we speak right now. So that is a very positive out here. We had mentioned, or maybe I didn't mention it to you. Let me move over and take a look at the index charts out here. But the New York Stock Exchange, I believe, has passed through that bar following the TD9 count out here. Yep, it's doing it right now as we speak. So today's close on the New York Stock Exchange will be very important because a close above Friday's high, and Friday's high, by the way, I'm trying to get this figure here for you, is 13,297 even Steven. The close above 13,297, your 13,329 says the New York Stock Exchange wants to run higher. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. Be right back.
With markets trading with extreme volatility and peaks and troughs everywhere, regardless of what you're looking at in the markets, this is a great time to see the type of analysis Basil Chapman delivers for his subscribers every market day with the Opening Call newsletter. Basil has been analyzing markets, providing his take for subscribers to his trading services since 1984. Every morning, Basil publishes an update for his subscribers, along with weekend and evening updates when warranted. The Opening Call provides traders a daily market overview with regard to the direction of the key indices, selective stocks and commodities, along with specific recommendations including stops and targets. You also gain instant access to Basil's subscriber webinar archive from earlier this year, a dark cloud cover, and essential market analysis. Ride the Chapman wave today by signing up for the Opening Call newsletter on the front page of TFNN.com under the newsletter tab. New subscribers get a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. Sign up today.
The gold market has taken off topside in a large way in 2020. If you want to take advantage of this sector, now is the time to subscribe to my gold report. The gold report took profits in 4 of its equities in the gold portfolio in the first week of January for a combined profit of 99.2%, with 2 positions left in the portfolio that have a profit of 67.5% as of January 7th. The gold report is a comprehensive look at the metals sector as well as the markets that move gold, which is the currency and bond markets. New subscribers get a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to lose. Every Monday morning, I publish the gold report with coverage of gold, silver, bonds, the XAU, HUI, GDX, as well as more than 30 different mining equities. To see for yourself the types of profitable trades that are recommended within the gold report, sign up now by visiting TFNN.com. Don't miss out on the next great gold trade. Sign up today.
You know what's cool? Taking something that's good for you. Something specifically formulated to help with weight loss, better sleep, stress reduction, and the need to detox.
Nico, our hunter and gatherer ancestors found all their nutritional requirements for health in their wild environment. But today, our food sources no longer contain the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients our bodies need to stay healthy and strong.
That's why we need Primal Edge Daily Nutrition. It includes a special blend of ionic, soil-based vitamins, minerals, fatty, and amino acids in an easy-to-use liquid form.
Primal Edge is powered by highly concentrated fulvic and humic acids, nature's preferred delivery system. They have been called miracle molecules because, like sunlight, air, and water, life cannot exist without them.
That's right, Paige. They ensure we receive all the nutrition we need to be healthy and thrive. We take it every morning.
Primal Edge, formulated and approved by Nico and Paige of Living a Primal Lifestyle. Buy it today for just $89. Click on the Primal Edge banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV for the latest market information.
Welcome back, folks. Now up 315, S&P 65. Let me give you in this next 2-minute wrap up here, I guess some areas, some potential price targets. So inside the ES Mini, prices trading up above all resistance. Resistance being those TAS market profiles. You'll see in the A to B equals CD pattern out here. Prices already attained the 1 to 1.272 level. The next area is 3607. That's above the September highs. So right now we're going to say the target becomes the September highs for the S&P for the ES Mini. Inside the NQ, prices above all the profiles with the exception of a new monthly profile. That says prices targeting that high, which is 12,452. If we take a look at the Dow's got a profile resistance level on its monthly time frame. That's up at 29,137. We're 28,793 out here. So it's got a bit of ways to move to the upside. And that's what's going on inside of the equity markets. I don't have that same set of charts for the Russell 2000. Now, the Russell 2000, if we take a look at the cash indices, so I'm separating myself from the equity future contract. If the Russell 2000 closes above Friday's high, let me give you that number out here, then this too, much like the Wilshire 5000, much like the New York Stock Exchange, will have just simply blown through on one day the TD9 count top. That high is 1645. So we're trading below it now. We're going to watch the Russell 2000 because we're looking, has the Russell 2000, is this generating an early topping signal out here, another early topping signal? Because that's the potential. And if it doesn't, then what is its message to us? Now, the reason why I say an early topping signal, Mike and Norman Beach and I looked at this pattern out here, or this set of charts out here. If you take a look at the Russell 2000, its top is in August of 2018, folks. That's its highs out here. It's just got a ways to go before it, so it's not anywhere near in breakout mode. Nor is the Dow in a breakout mode. The Dow can't get to a breakout mode unless it gets above that February 12th high out there. So, folks, do me a favor. Stay tuned for 2 more great hours. You've got your favorite polar bear, David White. He's coming up next after that, the Tom O'Brien Show. I'll be back with you on Terrific Tuesday. Have a magical Monday, and thanks so much for being here.